Macklin Celebrini breaks out of his slump, and Alex Nedeljkovic is now the Sharks starter.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker at the Reef. I've been covering the Sharks since 2018, also the co-host of Locked On NHL. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen, proudly part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. We're the number one sports podcast network. If you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. And today we're going to be breaking down the Sharks' big 3-1 win over the New York Rangers, their only home game in what feels like several months at this point. So we'll be talking about how Macklin Celebrini broke out tonight out of his mini slump, the world's shortest slump. Alex Nedeljkovic, is he now the Sharks starter going forward? Michael Misa continues to flash big moments, and we'll dig into the numbers behind this game. So let's start with Alex Nedeljkovic, who I think is the story coming out of tonight, right? And Celebrini, great game from Celebrini, 2 goals. We'll get to Celebrini here in a minute. It's not very often where Celebrini isn't the first thing we're talking about, but I think we do have to talk about Alex Nedeljkovic, who has been playing extremely well as of late, and tonight was absolutely lights out for the Sharks as he saved 28 saves on 29 shots against the New York Rangers, and he has really come along here, I guess, basically kind of since the beginning of the calendar year. And with his play, every time he starts, the Sharks continue to win games as he has now won 5 straight starts for the San Jose Sharks. That is a lot of S words in there. So I think with Nedeljkovic, I think it's right now you have to think that he is and should be the starter for the Sharks going forward. Does that mean he plays every game here? No. Should he get the first run of games here? I think that's where you look at Nedeljkovic. Tonight, again, 28 saves on 29 shots, 1 goal allowed, 3.32 expected goals allowed, 966 save percentage, 8 of 9 on high danger shots, 6 of 6 mid danger, and 14 of 14 low danger. Since the start of the year, Nedeljkovic in games he has started, so not the Tampa game where they got blown out on the 3rd, but against Columbus, 36 saves on with a 944 save percentage win. Against Dallas, that was the 4 power play game where the Sharks only allowed 20 shots on goal, but 20 shots, 4 goals allowed, 800 save percentage, still a win. Against Washington, 23 saves, 2 goals allowed, 913 save percentage in that game. And then these last 2 games against Florida, 36 saves, 1 goal allowed, 972 save percentage, and a knockout in that game as well. And then tonight follows it up with 29 saves, 1 goal allowed with a 966 save percentage. And this is nothing again, like Askarov has, right? He played really well in November. It's been a little bit of a struggle here with consistency, and you're going to expect that with a guy like Askarov, who's, going through his first full season of the NHL. And if the Sharks were losing, right, and we're going to be one of the worst teams in the NHL, I think you could just kind of continue to play Askarov and hope that he works through it. Right now, though, the Sharks need every point possible to keep in the playoff race, and I think you have to ride the hot hand of Alex Nedeljkovic until Alex Nedeljkovic is no longer the hot hand. And how long this lasts? Maybe it lasts through the Olympic break. Maybe it lasts until next game, right? You never know with goalies when they'll cool off here. But I think for now, if you're the Sharks, you have to continue to ride Nedeljkovic because he has given this team a spark. And, even during that time, not including tonight's game, but, since the first, I mean, you're looking at just comparing their stats Nedeljkovic is, 2.37 goals against with a 913 save percentage. That's going to improve after tonight's game, for San Jose. And Askarov is at 4.42 goals against with 836 save percentage during that time. So I think for Nedeljkovic or Askarov, he's in this is a good time where you have some extra time, right? You have the Olympic break, and I know they won't be practicing during the Olympic break, but I think you have some time for Askarov to kind of get back in the lab, make some tweaks or whatever he needs to do to get his game back. And you have Nedeljkovic who can kind of carry the load. And this is why you went out and traded for Nedeljkovic. So that way you can have a guy where if he needs to start a few games in a row because he's playing well, you can absolutely do that. So I think right now it's Nedeljkovic's net until it's not, I think. I would still look to get Askarov in here. I would try to get him in either against the Canucks game. I assume Nedeljkovic will start against the Canucks, but I would try to get him in here in one of these games, like either against the Canucks or against the Flames, and see if you can kind of get him in there and see if you can kind of try to find some confidence and stuff. But because I also don't want to run Nedeljkovic out there for 6 straight games, but I do think right now Nedeljkovic should get the bulk of these starts because he's just been playing better, and this team has been playing better in front of him. So, Nedeljkovic is net. Macklin Celebrini, hooray! Our long national nightmare is over as he breaks out of his 2-game slump with no points. That was brutal, guys. I don't know if we could ever, as a nation, survive anything like that again. But Celebrini comes out. If you watch the preview, I predicted Celebrini was going to have a big game, and he came out tonight and was absolutely on fire. 2 goals in the first 8 minutes there to put the Sharks up 3-1 or 3-0. Rangers, of course, scored to make it 3-1, and then he had some opportunities to get the hat trick tonight, but just unfortunately wasn't able. But you saw the dynamic between him and Smith continue. Colin Graf continues to be a solid addition on this top line here, and we'll talk about the lines a little bit later. But you really felt, I think, one of the most balanced approaches tonight from San Jose, where you felt all impact from all 3 lines, or all the top 3 lines. And the 4th line, I know Ryan Reaves was out for a good chunk of tonight's game, and he left the game early tonight. So we'll see there, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But, your top 3 lines here is where you're going to get the bulk of your production. And tonight felt like they didn't, yes, it was a lot on the power play, but it definitely felt like if they can play like this, you're going to get production from all 3 lines and be a more balanced team, which in turn is going to help Macklin Celebrini have bigger nights because teams will have to focus on players like Wennberg and Misa and Eklund and et cetera. So I think very well, slight tweak, putting Eklund on the 3rd line, but I think it really worked out. We'll talk about that here, move here a little bit more. But as for Celebrini, right, this is a player where it feels like any night, like he could go off and just have a big night. And it definitely felt like that tonight. And you saw the tank, which was absolutely just rocking tonight. You had, after he scores the 2nd goal, you get the MVP chance from the crowd. When was the last time MVP chance at the tank? Joe Thornton days. It has been a long time since you got those, and rightfully so. This isn't, like some pity MVP chance. Celebrini just coming out and putting on a show. My favorite part of tonight, right? The put the C on the child moment of the game. He takes the chicken wing elbow from Gabe Perreault, which 100% dirty shot there. If only the Department of Player Safety if there was some sort of department like that. But anyway, gets the cotton and the gauze shoved up the nose and is going out there for the power play to try to put the Sharks up by 3 and end this game. Unfortunately, San Jose just couldn't end the game there. But my favorite moment of the night, right? That's your put your C on the child moment as he continues to just lead by example and shows why he's going to soon, at some point here, be the next captain of the San Jose Sharks. So we're going to talk about Michael Misa as he continues to have come along here, had another big game tonight. We'll talk about the Sharks' need of a little bit more killer instinct, as well as what the numbers say in this game here. So we'll get to that here in just 1 second. FanDuel is officially in playoff mode every game day during the NFL playoffs. FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action, because right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. Each game day, you'll see a pack loaded with a multiple profit boosts you can apply to the bets you like most. Open the profit boost pack first thing on game day and see what boosts you want to apply. The boosts give you more juice on the bets you already like instead of forcing you to bet something new. Every play feels bigger, and the boosts make your bets feel that way too. So make your picks and then apply your profit boost to go after an even bigger payout while the playoffs get rolling. Visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. All right, do of course want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen today. Thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. If you haven't already, got to check out the All Access Every Dare Club. You'll get ad-free episodes of Locked On Sharks compatible with Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and every major podcast app. Special all access episodes of Locked On Sharks. We just talked about Kiefer Sherwood on Friday's episode, as well as an invite to Locked On Every Dare Club Discord server, which is a really fun way to talk about Sharks with other Sharks fans, and myself included. Go to lockedonsharks.supercast or tap the link in the show notes to learn more. So Michael Misa continues to be pretty good at hockey. And tonight, pretty good at hockey. You saw several moments tonight, those flashes, right? And that's what we're looking for right now. Can you continue to give us some flashes? And very much the Will Smith parallel here of what we saw last year, where struggled at first, but then all of a sudden you start to see more and more and more of these flashes. And tonight saw a ton of those. So Misa's still in that kind of 12 and a half minute range with his time on ice. But tonight, like the play to set up Pavel Regenda, which great goal by Pavel Regenda. What a beautiful backhand by him, and a guy who continues to earn and stick around in the lineup here, not just with the goal scoring, but just how he plays, right? That drive to the net that Regenda had later on where he drew a penalty, actually drew 2 penalties tonight. The Rangers were just undisciplined tonight. But great, right? He's pinned along the boards, is able to kind of squeak out a little bit and gets a pass to Regenda, who's wide open and is able to bury that there. Later on, you saw a great give and go with him and Eklund, where Eklund, kind of reads it. Misa's got a ton of speed, gets the puck back along the boards, drives to the net, and draws a penalty there for the Sharks to get another power play late in the game. Like those type of moments, and you saw a lot of that from Misa tonight. Just a lot of really smart plays where he's in the right position, is reading where everyone else is. He had a couple opportunities as well, a couple of shots, good shot attempts from him as well tonight. So again, like it's going to be up and down moments from him, right? You're going to have games like this, then you're going to have some poor games and stuff. But I do think this stretch here, especially with the quality of competition that you're playing, I think this is a really good, as I talked about not that long ago, is a really good opportunity for Misa to continue to stack some games here. And I think he's well on his way with his performance. And tonight, you saw William Eklund on the third line. Rosovsky talked about, wanting a little bit more out of Eklund, which I get, whatever. But I do think this was also an opportunity to put Misa with a playmaking, strong, puck control type of player, right? We know Eklund, who's, pretty good along the boards, good at protecting the puck. I think that could be a long-term piece or combo right there, especially when you get Chernyshov back and having that potential line of a Eklund, Misa, Chernyshov performance. Like then you're really cooking there to give that line a lot of different looks there. But yes, you wanted Eklund to do a little bit more, and Eklund got first opportunity. He got to play on the penalty kill a lot more, which you haven't really seen of Eklund do as much. And the penalty kill was really great tonight. But I do think for Misa and Eklund, where that is a potential kind of long-term bond, long-term pairing, that I don't think it was the worst thing in the world. And, with the way the Sharks are, like we talked about earlier, where the Sharks tonight really have three lines that felt like they could give you something at any time. It was good to see Misa and good to see Eklund, I think, have strong games tonight for San Jose. And Eklund, who's been playing, 20 minutes tonight, tonight was around that 18 minutes, but for him, I think it's still fine. I think like your Celebrini playing 24 minutes tonight, ridiculous. And Wennberg playing 24 minutes, good God. But having to make up for Reaves there, I guess, question mark. But I like I said, I think that pairing could potentially really work out. So I do want to shout out Dmitry Orlov tonight, who was an absolute monster. Everyone, like, we have some pretty quiet, like most nights, Dmitry Orlov just kind of goes about his business, does things pretty quietly, but every once in a while, it's like every kind of 2 or 3 weeks, he just has this like monster game where he is just on it. And tonight was one of those games, right? Where making really strong plays, especially like in the defensive zone on the blue line with some strong stick checks, some strong checks as well, just to really, I think tonight was without Orlov, I think Nedeljkovic maybe lets in a goal or two more. And then we're talking about a potential overtime performance, but Orlov tonight, I was really impressed with him and the way that he played tonight. And we'd love to see more of that, right? That just every now and then get a performance like that. But I thought he was a huge factor for San Jose tonight, and really helped shut down, especially against some really elite players on the Rangers, right? You see like Panarin, etc. Like there's a lot of really good players over there, and I thought Orlov had a big night against some of their top guys here, which is what you love to see. But we're going to dive into the stats here in a couple minutes, talk about how the Sharks need a little bit more of that killer instinct here to kind of put this game away, especially when you get as many power play opportunities as they did. You'll definitely take the 2 power play goals, but it kind of felt like you still left some meat on the bone tonight. So we'll discuss that. We'll break down the lines a little bit more, and we'll talk about the defensive pairs some more as well. So we'll get to that here in just 1 second. All right, of course want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. And if you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On Sharks ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Head over to lockedonsharks.supercast to join the club. So, Sharks, killer instinct a little bit more, right? Especially you get up 3, they get the 1 goal, and you kind of felt that goal was coming. And then it's just no goals the rest of the game, which is fine, right? If you're going to have no goals the rest of the game, that's fine. But this is where we talk about this a lot, where teams can, especially those really good teams like Tampa or Colorado. I know Colorado is kind of going through it right now, but those really good teams find a way to not just sit on their hand, and not that the Sharks were sitting, but find a way to kind of put a game away. And that's what I was really hoping for in this game, especially with how they played in the first period. You're hoping either in the beginning of the second or the beginning of the third, like just to kind of come out, try to find that early goal to make it 4 and really just end things here and not have to sweat it out. And with the way Nedeljkovic was playing, it felt like you felt like you were okay at 3, but it would have been nice to get to that 4th goal. because you're going to play teams who are better than the Rangers, and you're especially as you push towards this playoff, like developing that killer instinct and putting teams away, so then it can get to that 4-1, 5-1, and then you can play your third or fourth line more, and you're not having to play Wennberg and Celebrini a combined 49 minutes in this game. So that's still where we got ahead. And I'm not trying to nitpick. It's a very nice win. You did a great job of winning and kind of surviving some of those moments. But this is just one of those things I think the Sharks are going to have to, and we've seen the Sharks team, right? Teams where, they couldn't get that next goal against San Jose, and they've been able to come back. I think these are some of those learning moments kind of going forward of what this team needs to do. But as for this game, which had all the penalties, the Sharks had 7 power play opportunities. They had 2 goals on those 7, and the Rangers they had 2, and the Sharks PK did a really good job against the Rangers. But that 28.6%, you'll take it on the power play. But with how the power play has been struggling as of late, this felt like you again, and with the opportunities you had, you would have liked to have at least one more on the power play to again put this game away here for San Jose. But you'll definitely take the 2, especially with how the way that this team has played on the power as of late. So 5-on-5, we had about 38 minutes of 5-on-5 time. The shot attempts were 46-37 in favor of the Rangers. And again, right, San Jose gets up early 3, and the Rangers, I thought the Rangers kind of were gonna maybe just go away quietly, but credit to them, they really fought back in this game, especially the end of the second, beginning of the third. But 46-37 shot attempts. Corsi for 55.42 to 44.58. Actual shots at 5-on-5, 21-18 in favor of the Rangers. Total, the Sharks outshot them 31-29. Again, thanks to all the power play opportunities that they had. Scoring chances 22-17, 12-7 high danger chances, and then 2.22 to 1.74 expected goals for, all in favor of the Rangers. So would have been nice to just kind of put a team away, but we'll take a win. As for the forward lines tonight, so we had Smith, Celebrini, Graf played 9-19, 8-12 shot attempts, 5-5 actual shots, 1 goal, 4 from that line, 0.31 to 0.68 expected goals for. 5-7 scoring chances, 1-5 high danger chances from that line. So and they gave up some opportunities, but again, like you're up 3-0, you're up 3-1 for a majority of the game. Like the Rangers were just going to sit on their hands and kind of give this thing up, especially when you're within 2 goals for so long. So, but you saw Celebrini, Smith continuing to do cool things. Graf, who actually both Smith and Graf both kind of got banged up a little bit in this game, but should be okay, especially again with the Sharks not playing again until Tuesday. And they were both still like, didn't miss a shift from any of those guys. So, Regenda, Wennberg, Toffoli played 7-55, 9-4 shot attempts, 2-2 actual shots, 0.31 to 0.12 expected goals for from this line, 3-2 scoring chances, and 2-1 high danger chances. Really liked this line tonight. Wennberg, an absolute warrior tonight, 2 huge blocks in this game. I think it was the end of the second period, end of the first period when the Rangers were on the power play. Massive block there, like as the horn goes off. And then he had another one when they were in this 5-on-6 situation there, and just hanging in there in some of those moments there. Like that is a great performance by Alex Wennberg tonight. So like he drove. Toffoli had a really good opportunity there on he kind of rushed in and had a nice little turnaround shot that just hit the net. He had a couple good shots as well tonight for Toffoli. Like that line there of Wennberg, Regenda, Toffoli, really like that line. And I would assume they're going to probably stick together here for a little bit going forward. So And then, of course, we had the Misa line. So it was Misa, Eklund, Gaudet, 649, 9-7 shot attempts, 5-4 actual shots, 0.72 to 0.14 expected goals for, 5-2 scoring chances, 2-1 high danger chances from that line. And they got a ton of defensive zone starts. They had 5 defensive zone starts tonight, which is very a face-off. So interesting there from them. So we talked a bunch about Misa. I am curious just because with the Reaves thing, sounds like Philipp Kurashev, like he's been back at practice here. Like the Sharks have practice the next couple of days. If Kurashev is eligible, and the Sharks do have a roster spot because of Chernyshov going down. If Kurashev is out, like comes back, I could see an Eklund, Misa, Kurashev line, and then you slide Gaudet down to the 4th line, especially if Ryan Reaves are kind of dealing with something here. Like Reaves did not look good tonight. Just he played less than 4 minutes. Just looked like he was laboring and struggling, and again left this game earlier. But I do wonder if Kurashev slides in there and you bump Gaudet down and have a Goodrow, Ostapchuk, Gaudet 4th line. But we'll see. We'll see. As for the Reaves line, so Goodrow, Ostapchuk, Reaves, they only played 243 together. Again, Ryan Reaves missed a lot of time in today's game. 3-5 shot attempts, 1-1 actual shots, 0.01 to 0.2 expected goals for, 1-2 scoring chances, 0-1 high danger chances from that line. Ostapchuk had I really liked actually both Goodrow and Ostapchuk tonight. Goodrow made some solid plays, especially on the PK. Ostapchuk had one beaten icing and 2 almost tucked in a goal. I think it was Regenda who flipped it up, but you see the wheels from Ostapchuk. Like, and when he gets going, man, he does have some wheels. And a guy that big, he's just slowly growing on me. So good to see from Ostapchuk tonight. As Michael Misa had 85% Corsi for tonight when he was on the ice. Man, would love to see him continue to get more shots and more ice time here. So as for the defensive pairs, Farrell Logren, I think continues to be a really strong pair for San Jose. 65% Corsi for, 17-9 shot attempts. Dickinson Desharnais also been a really strong pair. 10-7 Corsi for, 58.82%. Orlov Klingberg, Corsi for not in their favor tonight, 20%, basically 21%, 5-19. But I do think they both played well. And if I do have to give the Klingberg award, I'm gonna, even though the offense wasn't there, I'm gonna go Klingberg tonight. I thought he made some really strong defensive plays, especially in front of the net. He saved a goal. Like Brandon Othman was basically all like it was him versus Klingberg, and he gets kind of corrals a rebound there, and Klingberg does a really great job of just knocking him off the puck and giving Nedeljkovic a chance to kind of scramble and get it. So I think Klingberg wasn't the prettiest game. But again, the rules say it's either sad Klingberg or happy Klingberg, and I was pretty impressed with the way Klingberg responded defensively tonight. Some of the offense was a little shaky, but we'll take a happy Klingberg in a game where the Sharks won. So overall, you'll definitely take it. This is a team, right, where you're seeing them being able to rely on their defensive game, and especially when you feel like your goaltender Nedeljkovic is playing well. You don't have to win every game. Like the last time these two teams played, right, you were in the same situation where it's 3-1 and you had to win the game 6-5 in overtime. Tonight, you were able to just, you scored 3 goals. Would you have liked to have gotten that 4th goal? Sure would have, but you won a game 3-1, and because your goaltending was able to play strong enough, and you didn't make life extremely hard on Nedeljkovic. As well as he was playing, I think the defense played pretty well in front of him as well. So 100% take that. Right now, you got to go try to, out of these next 5 games, you want to try to get 3 out of these next 5, and I feel like you're feeling really good heading into the Olympic break here. So we'll be back on Sunday, where we'll probably do a nice recap, unless of the week and kind of what we learned, unless Mike Greer does something. We'll see. So make sure you're following along wherever you get podcasts, and of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at My Fry Hole. Till Sunday. Bye, friends.